Hello, Sunnyside. The good Lord again has our undivided attention. There are a few things that's going on that I think you might want to know about. Do know, first of all, that Johnson & Johnson is prepared to apply for an emergency approval of the single-dose vaccine against the coronavirus. Stay tuned to your local news to find out what's actually taking place with that. It is said that hopefully by this summer, everyone, young and old, will have access to the vaccination. Once you do get your shots, however, please do know that you still need to wear your mask. You need to practice social distancing. You need to wash your hands frequently, and you need to stay home whenever possible. As you're out going about doing things that you really need to do, consider calling to see if a neighbor or someone who lives alone might be able to benefit from some assistance from you. Again, just do know that there are little things that we can do to be good neighbors. Do know that voter suppression is alive and well. It's alive and well. It really showed its head during the general elections in November, and again in the January Senate runoffs. Our community really turned out, and I understand there in Georgia, our voices are really heard by making use of Hip Hop Caucus Respect My Vote campaign. It was really critical in registering and mobilizing voters that other organizations tended to count out. Note also that in Georgia, as a response, there is a new proposal now that will require people who vote by mail to include a photocopy of their ID both when they register and when they cast their ballots. LeBron James said, "I hope y'all understand, black voter suppression is still real, and it does not stop on election day. It's just going to get worse because now they know what we did." Again, please be aware. Voting takes place more frequently than every 4 years. It's an ongoing thing. And those who were elected as congressmen, those are just 2-year terms. So they're already starting to work on the next session. Since the election, on the first day in office, President Biden signed at least 17 executive orders. Now, some of them were as follows. He rejoined the Paris Peace Accords. Thank goodness. He also reinstated ties with the WHO, that is the World Health Organization. Can you imagine the United States not being a part of that organization? He bolstered DACA after the former administration threatened to end that program. Look up and see what DACA is about. Again, actually, those were youth who were brought here as children, and this is really the only nation that they actually know. So look up information about that program. He reversed the ban on trans Americans in the military. Again, these are people who were willing to serve. They weren't looking for excuses as to how not to serve. He halted the construction of the border wall, which we were told was going to be paid for by Mexico. At the same time, within the last week or so since he has been our president, Congressional Black Caucus Chair Congresswoman Joyce Beatty is now leading the charge to moving forward with putting Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. Remember, that was something that was approved some 5 years ago, and it was halted with the previous administration. There are any number of things that have taken place again recently. The president has tried to roll back some of the previous administration's acts that appeared dangerous to the nation, such as altering the emissions, the air emissions, for the good, for our good. He's also stopped the drillings on Native American lands. Okay? Again, any number of things have been going forth. There's been an effort, and there will constantly be an ongoing effort to reunite immigrant children with their parents. So some progress really is being made. There are some parts of our history that we are only made aware of during the month of February, during Black History Month. I would often ask questions and present little prizes to those who were able to answer the questions. The people who really come to my mind automatically are people like Pat Westbrook, Craig McGee, Jaslyn Scarborough, and Cadet Cleveland was always ready to expound on an answer. I raised a question last week, and I asked the question, and the question was, who was this 22-year-old young poet laureate who wrote and read the poem, The Hill We Climb? She did that at the inauguration of President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. The answer to that question is, her name is Amanda Gorman. We will be hearing more about her. Black History Month starts Monday, February the 1st through February the 28th. The NMAAHC, okay? NM, National Museum, AA, African American, HC, History and Culture. That's a part of the Smithsonian, one of our newer museums in Washington, D.C. This coming Tuesday, February the 2nd, at 7 p.m. Eastern, online, they are offering a program, Historically Speaking, 400 Souls, a community history of African Americans from 1619 to 2019. The authors that will be in charge are Ibram Kendi and Keisha Blaine. They will examine eras including slavery, Reconstruction, and segregation, and their sustained impact on the U.S. today. There are some questions I'm going to just share with you now, and I'll give you the answers next time. What do you think is located at 1964 Independence Avenue Southwest in Washington, D.C., and why that address? Again, the address is 1964 Independence Avenue Southwest in Washington, D.C. The next question I will ask is, what was the original name of Black History Month? Who started it? And what is the name of the Negro or Black National Anthem? I'm going to go back to that one once more. What was the original name of Black History Month? Who started it? And what is the name of the Negro or Black National Anthem? As I close this time, do know Cicely Tyson was a black actress. She was known for some 70 years of excellence. She was born to West Indian immigrant parents. After high school, she was a secretary for the Red Cross. She became a model and then appeared in Vogue and Harper's Bazaar. She was one of the founding members of the Dance Theater of Harlem in 1969. She criticized an upcoming remake of the movie Roots. She felt that it's unnecessary. She's an Emmy and Tony-winning actress who distinguished herself in theater, film, and television. She died this past Thursday afternoon at the age of 96. In reading in the Times magazine, or the Times newspaper on the front page, there was some question about her age, but just do know that Cicely was of that time and era when women tended not to disclose their age. So it says that she was some 87 years old, but records show that she was 96. Her memoir, Just As I Am, was published just this past Tuesday. She broke into the movies in 1959 with Harry Belafonte's film Odds Against Tomorrow. She refused to participate in the blaxploitation movies of the 1960s. She waited until 1972 and returned with Sounder. That was the movie. And received a nomination as Best Actress and an honorary Oscar in 2018. On television, she did the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman. She did Roots, the Wilma Rudolph story, King, the Martin Luther King story, A Woman Called Moses, and Trip to Bountiful. Those are just a few of the things that she participated in. She refused to play drug addicts, prostitutes, maids, or roles that she thought were demeaning to black women. Again, if you will just look in yesterday's paper, just listen. They're still talking about the contributions of Cicely Tyson. This is Black History Month. Make yourself aware of our history. Do know that our history did not begin here in the U.S. as slaves. I look forward to sharing additional information with you this coming month. And at the same time, those of you who are my age, maybe a little older, share some stories that you remember. Share them with your children. Share them with others, because should something happen with us, those stories leave with us. Again, happy Black History Month. I look forward with sharing more Black history with you later on in the month. God bless you.